What's up, everyone? It's Bryan Kluger here. I'm with Boomstick Comics and High Def Digest. Let's talk about some of the movies that came out in January. Do you need to see them? Do you not need to see them? I don't know. You be the judge.
I didn't ask you anything. I don't like you.
Like her.
Mister, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna kick 100% of your ass.
Like him. So, what came out in the month of January? Usually, movies that come out in January aren't that good.
He already did.
It's most likely because all the Oscar-nominated films come out usually between October and December the year prior, and this is just kind of a time when all of the studios dump everything in January that they really don't give a shit about. Here we are, January 2020, the end of January 2020. Let's talk, shall we? So one of the first movies that came out this year was The Grudge. It was the remake of the original. Oh my, I didn't see it. I heard that it was terrible. Then there was a movie called Underwater. Oh boy, he'd let us in, knows where we've been, in his octopus's garden in the shade. Yes, it's a Beatles quote. It's a Beatles lyric. It would have been perfectly used in this movie, but of course this movie is awful on all levels. What is Underwater? It is a PG-13 horror film set underwater. And it's led by Kristen Stewart. Yep. And this is kind of a lesson in how not to make a good movie. Underwater plays homage to Alien with its title sequence, and you kind of get this feeling that there's an alien-like quality here. Basically, Kristen Stewart plays a mechanical engineer at this company at the ocean floor, and they're doing stuff, they're drilling. Drill, baby, drill! Who knows what they're doing? And all of a sudden, something attacks this gigantic station underwater. Everybody's dying. Kristen Stewart and a few people are survivors or trying to escape to go to a different part of the laboratory, and they figure out that all these monsters have been unearthed, kind of like kaiju attacking everybody on the ocean floor. That's the movie. It's terrible. Actually, if the folks at Mystery Science Theater 3000 or Riff Tracks, please get a hold of this movie and do something great with it. Moving on, there was a movie called Dolittle. Yes, Dr. Dolittle. It's a new remake again with Iron Man himself, Robert Downey Jr., in an accent, a British accent.
It's okay to be scared.
Playing a man named Dr. Dolittle who's flying in a hot air balloon saving animals, and there's a dragon in a butthole. I don't know. I didn't see it. Then there was The Gentleman. It's anything but gentlemanly in this movie from Guy Ritchie, who brought us Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch.
He's a natural. Ain't you, Tyrone?
I'm sorry.
Oh yes, Guy Ritchie is back in the British gangster arena, finally, since Snatch with The Gentleman, with an all-star cast including Matthew McConaughey, Colin Farrell, Charlie Hunnam, Hugh Grant. It's a fun enough movie. They use the word cunt constantly in hilarious form, but it's kind of like that big intertwined story about a drug dealer trying to sell his drug empire, and then a slimy, nasty private detective trying to blackmail everybody and telling his story and how to get more money.
His name is Fahak, but spelled with a P-A, so it sounds like Fahak.
Please.
All right, Fahak, Kanda Fahak.
Please.
It's all there in a Guy Ritchie movie. It just doesn't have those amazing characters that we've come to love from Snatch or Lock, Stock. I did enjoy this movie. It was fun. Now let's talk about Bad Boys 3, Bad Boys for Life.
Shit just got real.
Shit just got real? Yes, it did. Shit just got real. So Michael Bay is nowhere on this movie. These two new Belgian filmmakers making Bad Boys 3 was a breath of fresh air. I enjoyed Bad Boys 3. It's under 2 hours. And they actually gave character development and emotion to these two cops, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, which Will Smith hasn't aged a day since Fresh Prince.
Will.
I don't know how he does it. There's this emotional draw to these characters now. They've grown adult and they're trying to still fit into this younger world. And I just enjoyed all of it. It was fun. It's bloody. It's violent. It's hardcore. And it makes you laugh throughout. They did a great job.
Hey! Oh, shit. Oh. Come on, man.
You could get that buffed out.
No, you can get that buffed out.
The Rhythm Section. A horrible fucking title. But it stars Blake Lively and Jude Law. Blake Lively being a badass. Or sort of. So this movie was directed by Reed Morano, adapted from a book of the same name by Mark Burnell. And interestingly enough, this movie was produced by Eon Productions and produced by Barbara Broccoli.
She's chopping broccoli. Chopping broccoli. Chopping broccoli.
Chopping broccoli. And Michael G. Wilson. Those three elements gave us all of the James Bond movies. Yes, Sean Connery. So there's that feel here. However, this movie, it comes up short and is far from anything thrilling. This lady, this woman, Blake Lively, was like high end from a great family, was the first in her class at the university. She's living in England. She's turned to prostitution and hardcore drugs. And that's because her entire family died in a plane crash. And so she finds out that it just didn't crash. It was a terroristic plot. It was blown up by a bomber. She realizes this and she comes across this guy named Boyd, otherwise known as just B, Q, M, whatever, and played by Jude Law, and he teaches her how to become an assassin, and she's terrible at it. So this is not like the big action-packed, thousands of bullets flying to you, million gallons of gas explosions type of movie. No, it's not. No, this is much more grounded, which is one of the aspects I liked of the movie, but it makes no sense. There's a sex scene that is out of place, and I like sex scenes. Especially that one. It's just plain awful. Yes, it is. Skip this movie. Moving on. Another wonderful film that you all should see. It's available on Amazon Prime. Please watch it. It's called Troop Zero. It's amazing. It's one group I want to join forever.
Don't do nothing half-ass.
I don't want to do anything with half an ass.
It's directed by the duo Bert and Bertie. It is written by the people who did Beasts of the Southern Wild, one of my favorite films of all time. And it feels like Beasts of the Southern Wild mixed with Little Miss Sunshine. It takes place in the 70s and it follows a very young girl who's kind of like the outcast in her southern town. Her single dad, played by the amazing Jim Gaffigan, is a bumbling lawyer who's hilarious and super as friendly as can be. This little girl named Christmas, played by the amazing McKenna Grace, is a high-spirited 9-year-old who is captivated by space and aliens who might be out there in outer space. Most kids pick on her for many reasons, but her one friend, Joseph, always sticks by her side while he teaches her the elements of beauty. They find out that NASA is going to send a recording into space with humans from Earth's voices saying stuff in hopes that the aliens out there will hear it. Well, this is what Christmas wants more than anything. In order to do this, she must attend the annual jamboree for the local Girl Scout troop. But of course, they don't let her in because she's kind of a misfit. She's an outcast. So her, along with her best friend Joseph, who's a gay kid, another girl who wants to kill everyone, a one-eyed Jesus freak, another child who can fix or take apart anything. It's just this ragtag group of kids that come to learn that working together you can do anything. And it is so sweet. Oh, everything about this movie is so much fun and so endearing and charming. I just wanted to watch it immediately again. And the music, stuff of Queen, Diana Ross, and David Bowie. This movie is fantastic. Highly recommend it. Troop Zero, do it! And the last one I'm going to talk about is Killer Inside, the Mind of Aaron Hernandez. Yes, this is a Netflix original documentary miniseries, 3 episodes long, and it's a documentary about Aaron Hernandez, that NFL Patriots player that was convicted of killing people while he played in the NFL. It's insane. It goes into the mind and the psyche of this person, of Aaron Hernandez. We all know what happened. It goes into his personal life, which was not great. His family life, his home life growing up was terrible. And it goes into the fact that he was actually gay and that he did not want to advertise that fact, which is, I think, kind of what led to a lot of the things in his life, a lot of the bad things in his life. This is a very comprehensive documentary about this guy, and I loved it because it didn't pay sympathy to him at all. It just showed what a cold-blooded killer he was and maybe some of the motives and even possible brain injuries that he suffered early on contributed to this. Killer Inside, the Mind of Aaron Hernandez. If you like true crime, this is the one to see. It's great. It's out now on Netflix. Please do it. But yes, that's it. That's January 2020 in review. I'm Bryan Kluger. We'll be back at the end of February for the February movies. And yes, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I love you.